Welcome to my kitchen. Hi, everybody. All right, this is the second recipe for our meal prep week of hearty and healthy staples. This is the purple coleslaw. Super simple, and it comes together in under 15 minutes for sure. A great way to get lots of good veggies. It's chewy and crunchy and has great tanginess from the dressing. If you've been following along with this week of meal prep, you'll probably notice I have the same peppers. I'm using the same peppers that I had in the white turkey chili. I like to get the most out of everything I buy. There's no reason to be wasteful. I'm just going to remove the stems and slice it down into smaller pieces. Not too small. It's the texture thing again. You want everything to be approximately the same size. By doing this, the coleslaw has a nice consistency, and you can get a little bit of everything in every bite. If you want things smaller or even larger, do whatever makes you happy, but try to make sure everything is the same size. You can also use different peppers if you'd like, or even all the same color if you want. I'll tell you, the green peppers are a little bit strong for me, so I like to use either the red, the orange, or the yellow. And I do think the green peppers might be a little bit overpowering in this. And we're going to do the same thing with the red pepper. You take off the stems and slice it down into pieces. Look, truthfully, you can use any veggies you like. This is such a simple recipe. It makes any veggies taste great, and it's a great addition and a great way to start eating healthier. Absolutely no reason why good food can't taste good too. This recipe is a great filler recipe too, meaning it's very filling without a lot of calories. There's 66 calories in a cup of the coleslaw and only 4 grams of fat. Once we're done with the peppers, we can move on to the onions. Not a lot, just enough to give us that little bit of onion flavor. I'm also using a sweet onion, which is much more milder than the regular yellow onions. I find they're better tasting, and I find that if you're eating raw onions, you want something that's a little bit sweeter. And they don't make you cry as much. You'll want to slice them nice and thin and keep them about the same size as the peppers. I think maybe I should change the recipe name to leftover salad. The cabbage that we're using is also leftovers from another dish. I think it's important to try to use everything we have before it goes bad and not waste if we can. That's why you can really use any veggies with this dressing to have a great salad. Okay, on to the cabbage. Red cabbage first. And just like everything else, it's going to get sliced thin, and then the pieces are going to be cut the same size as the peppers. Super simple and easy. If you have veggie slicer or a mandolin, you can absolutely use that. If you're going to make a lot of this, that would be helpful. I just didn't think it was worth cleaning up another piece of equipment for such a small amount. It gives us a good chance to work on our knife skills too. And if you only have green cabbage, that's fine too. Or even if you only have red cabbage, that'll work too. I like using the red cabbage because it has a great color. Also, as it sits in the fridge, the color starts to get onto everything else and you get this beautiful deep purple color. That's one more thing I like about cooking, especially fresh produce. The colors, they create such beautiful food. And they say that it helps for your health if you can eat lots of vibrant colored foods. And also, flavors actually get better the longer it sits. This lasted almost a week, and I had it a number of times in a number of ways. Okay, on to the green cabbage, and just like the other, same size as everything else. Both cabbages worked out to be about a half a head, maybe a little bit less. If you wanted to, you could probably make a great chopped salad out of this too. Everything just cut into really small pieces. Once everything is sliced, you want to make sure that you give it a good toss to make sure everything is evenly distributed. Make sure you break apart the cabbage because sometimes it does stick together. After all of that comes together, add our spices. Salt and pepper to start, of course, and then a small amount of celery seed and a touch of cumin. Be careful, both the celery seed and the cumin can be strong if you put too much in. And next, the red wine vinegar and olive oil. I use more vinegar than oil, and by doing that, it makes it a little bit more tangy. If it's too much for you, you can just add a little bit more of the olive oil if you'd like. This will change the calorie count, but it shouldn't be a lot, and if you're not counting, you can go crazy. Add as much olive oil as you want. I do use extra virgin olive oil because it is supposed to be a little bit healthier. And by all means, you use whatever oil you'd like. Once that comes together, give it a good toss and make sure everything is evenly coated and well combined. After everything is mixed up, you can go ahead and give it a taste. And if you'd like to add more, you can. The celery seed does take a little while for the flavor to come out, so I would be careful with that and not add too much of it. Maybe after it sits for a while. When I'm done, I like to store my food in glass food containers. I find that it's much easier to see things, and they're much easier to clean up. I did weigh everything when I was done just so I could make sure I had an accurate calorie count. And like I said, this went great with the number of dishes that I had this week. This recipe became one of my go-to salads, and I have it a lot. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this recipe, and I hope you give it a try. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. For a copy of the complete recipe and a full meal prep menu, go to my Patreon page.